You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic bootcamp, Moveville University, Pure Chiro Notes, Dr. Alok Trivedi, the Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Traction System, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, and Imaging Services. Let's hustle. Hey guys, Jim Chester here. I got Dr. Gabriel Long. He's in Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm out here in the Grand Junction, Grand Valley of the western slope of Colorado, which I like to say where no one lives, and I do. So I came out here so I could hear the birds chirp and just to get a better, simple quality of life. But this episode, Dr. Gabriel is brought to us by Imaging Services, and that's Michael Tokash. He is an amazing sponsor. And then we have Nathan Dominguez, who helps him out with 20/20 imaging, but they work with you guys a little bit, so I thought that'd be a real congruent sponsor for the Amped Group. And I just want to say welcome to the Chiro Hustle live stream.
Well, thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to share today. Excited to see who we can inspire and impact, and kind of shed some light on our experience here so far in Omaha, and to show you guys what's possible.
Yeah, and I know you just jumped right out of the gates, man. You're 9 months into practice. You went to Parker. You're on fire. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so originally from Des Moines, Iowa, and everybody was all like, "Oh, you're going to go to Davenport. You're going to go to Davenport. Go to Palmer." And exactly right. And I love it. And I actually never checked out the school. There was one big red flag for me, and that was it was way too close to home. I went to school in Western Illinois, Southeast Iowa. I knew I would have too many distractions. The whole reason I decided to become a chiropractor is because I saw a pretty big mix-up in our healthcare industry, and I wanted to learn more. And chiropractic had personally changed my life. And I asked my chiropractor, "Where would you go?" He said, "Check out Parker down in Dallas." So my wife and I packed up, went on a school trip to check it out, and made up my mind right there. And we started a few months later and never looked back. Parker, was a beautiful thing for us and a beautiful experience. They gave us everything that we needed to pass boards and to help us become the person we were designed to be. But they never really shut the door on opportunities. So I do appreciate my time in Parker, because I didn't feel like I was being a star plugged into a square box, right? They really did allow me to seek out my own options and figure out who I was as a practitioner.
Yeah, and I think that what you're going to be able to share with our audience today is going to be super impactful, because you've been 9 months in, and you started out with how many pre-booked patients?
We had over 335 new practice members paid on the books for our first 3 months into practice, prior to even opening our doors.
So tell me, how does that happen, and where did you get the inspiration from?
That's a huge question. That's a fantastic question. None of it happened in the 3 months of our marketing prior to opening. Everything happened while we were in school. I can tell you that we signed thousands of people up for chiropractic prior to ever opening our doors, serving in offices outside of our own while we're in school, on the weekends, flying all over the country to serve other offices. Really, in order for us to have succeeded early on in practice, we had to make our mistakes before that. We didn't want to make our first mistakes while we were in practice. So I started seeking out the mission of finding a mentor, finding somebody who's already doing it right, and learning from them firsthand and diving in deeper than I even expected to. I always felt like once I push myself to my conscious limit, that's when we'll start beginning to count, and that's when we'll start to decide that we've even started fulfilling our potential. So we met Dr. Ryan Bones, part of Chiro Sushi, invited me to a launch event. He was the leader of Launch Club in school, and well put together young man. And I saw myself and I saw him, and I said, I could see myself fulfilling my potential if I went down the same path he was going down. So in school, really looked up to Dr. Ryan Bones. And he invited me to this event called the Launch Event that goes school to school to school, opening students' eyes up to what's possible if you prepare while you're in school. So I went to this event, and I really wasn't going to go to the event. They say you make up your mind within 5 seconds whether you're going to do something when you hear about it, before you have a conscious override that decides, you know that gut feeling, that first 5 seconds when you hear something. Mine was telling me to go, but I almost didn't even join the event because I thought I had more important things to do that weekend. I remember walking out to the street to get into my car, and I remember thinking, okay, you've gone all the way down to Dallas from home. You're away from all your friends. You got your beautiful fiance with you. What are you really doing here, and when are you going to take action? And I remember thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice tonight. I sent a text to my wife Maggie, and we went to this event. And the launch event opened my eyes as to a road for myself to take to become the person that I was designed to be. So we started diving into Launch Club and serving these offices and all these mentors. And Launch really it's a massive movement of chiropractors who are spreading the message of principled chiropractic care. We do not build value in our office for symptoms. I tell people very blatantly on day one that I absolutely love them, but I will never treat one of their symptoms. I will only remove neurological interference, and anything that improves because of that is a side effect, and a beautiful side effect of that. And that's what they finally deserve, so they can finally be liberated of these health concerns that they've potentially been dealing with for decades. And the confidence that's come from getting prepared while in school has allowed me to cut the crap while in practice, get the main thing on the forefront of people's minds. And as Dr. Michael Viscarelli, one of my greatest mentors, tells me, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. So while in school, I started serving offices. One office in particular in DeSoto, Texas, Dr. Cornell Cornish opened his doors up to me and allowed me to come into his practice and serve. And we served on the weekends. I served during the actual week. I would go to his practice, and as I learned his systems and procedures, I started implementing those in his office and learning. And I made a lot of mistakes. I probably lost him a lot of money. But he really blessed us by allowing us to further sow into our futures and make these mistakes now so we could potentially serve more people by the time we opened up. Dr. Cornish is one of the very few people who have, no matter what problem I have in my life, personal, professional, I text him every single time because I know he's going to keep it 100% real with me, whether it hurts or not. A dear, dear friend of mine and somebody who I'm very, very thankful for. But if I had never taken advantage of the opportunity of going to the launch event, I would have never had the opportunity to really dive in and meet Zeus on a personal level and given him the opportunity to sow further into me. So we made a lot of mistakes. We served a lot of offices coast to coast. And we just spoke the truth about what our chiropractic profession is all about. And the thing is, people are looking for it. People are looking for it. It's just a matter of whether they know we have what they're looking for.
Sure. I'm going to do a quick pattern interrupt. I know that we got 7 people out there watching. I just want to thank them for jumping on with us. We have Michael Hecker and Kent, gosh, I'm going to say his last name wrong. Do you know how to say his last name? Replogle?
I've actually never known how to pronounce his last name, but amazing future chiropractor right there that's sewing into his profession every single day on the exact same path. And if I could put $1 million on the fact that he's going to be successful when he opens up, I would. 100%. This kid's going to kill it.
Well, I just want anybody out there that's an amped doc, put hashtag amped in the comments there so we know that if you're in the amped camp, so we know who's watching. And if you guys aren't in the amped camp, please put out their Chiro Hustle as a hashtag so I know who's watching. And so we know we can kind of communicate with you guys as we hustle and flow through this interview. Rep low goal. Okay, there we go. And he says amped. So we got our first there. So I'm going to just reiterate that. If you guys are watching, please hashtag amped if you're with amped on this interview. And if you are not, hashtag Chiro Hustle so we know that you're watching with us. So that gets us some participation there, Gabe. So I really like that, people. It's actually my first time doing that tactic because I've been watching other people do it, and I've noticed that they get better audience engagement when they ask people to be participating instead of just watching. And if you guys do like this, please give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts, give us some whatever emotion that you guys want to give us. Just give us some love out there. If you guys are liking what we're saying, if you guys are amped, for sure, give us some hearts and give us some thumbs up. Yeah, there we go. Chiro Hustle sponsor. I love it. It's great to have you guys on with us today. And Gabe, you're an Iowa boy, so I wore this shirt to dedicate 1895. The Founders Day of Chiropractic was September 18th, and we're both Iowa dudes. So I was like, dude, if I wear this, this is gonna be like icing on a cake, but it's got to be like non-sugar laden cake or something. But it's icing on a cake. What was it like to work with Viscerelli? I know the guy well, so he's doing so much for the profession.
Yes. It was scary in the beginning for sure, because I wanted to get outside of my comfort zone. I had served since trial one in practice in school in these practices. And so when I came out, I felt confident if I would have opened up, I could have been very successful from the get-go. I felt like I would do well and I could save a lot of lives and I could really spread the message at a high rate, but I wanted to make sure and test that foundation at the highest level I possibly could. And I knew if I went into his office and I tested it there for an extended period of time, I was going to find out for sure. There would be no questions about it. So as graduation approached, I gave him a call and I said, hey, we're thinking about coming up and serving your office for a few months post-graduation, willingly, without being paid, with the intent to get completely broken down and rebuilt. Maybe using some of the same bricks that I had obtained while in school, but also receiving anything that he was willing to sow into us to create a better, stronger congruency, not only within our marriage, within our practice as well. And it brought my wife and I closer. It gave us more confidence. It really, really tested us. But I can't tell you, this is one of the busiest men I've ever met. And he still made time for us one-on-one, having coffees, meeting at Whole Foods. I still have, he gave me a Snapple cap on my last day there that says, one cannot reach new land without first losing sight of the shore. And I still have it, and I have it in my desk right now. And it's just like, it's absolutely true, is if you're ever going to grow, you have to get outside your comfort zone. Everybody tends to limit themselves due to being scared of what may be exposed or failure. So they live within their conscious comfort zone, and what they see they are going to be able to succeed in. And you have to push those, and you have to get outside of your comfort zone. So the number one thing that I did is I tested that at the highest level possible. Dr. Michael ripped into me many, many, many times, and out of pure love. And the whole thing was trying to keep the main thing. None of this is about us. None of this is even about chiropractic. This is 100% about the people who are walking through these doors that line up right outside these doors. Prior to us opening up, we have a line out the door for people to receive neurologically based chiropractic care here. And it's all about them. The healthier they are, the better opportunity they have to fulfill their potential in this world. They can serve their spouse, they can serve their family, they can serve their church or their community or their mission or their vision or whatever it is, pushing humanity forward. This is so much bigger than just chiropractic care. This is life care. This is a whole monumental mission to push humanity forward. Working with Dr. Michael allowed me to realize that is the number one thing that wakes me up in the morning.
Yeah, I've had a chance to get to know him, and we spoke a couple months ago. We shared the stage at the Boulder Philosophy Night, and it was such an honor, to be in contact and friendship with somebody that's doing so much for the profession. It's just really cool. So yeah, I think you picked a good winner there, and mentioning Ryan Bones, such a rock star guy, just always helping people, always putting the best foot forward. Grew his practice just like you did with Amped, and I think that's something to be said. And I've seen Zeus speak a couple times now, and hearing him and how he's developed into a leader in the profession, letting you come down, figure yourself out. Dr. Viscerelli letting you come up, figure yourself out, and now you're out there in Omaha figuring it out. And I'm sure you're going to pay it forward too eventually. Definitely. We had students up here over the weekend. We had an event called Mystic Fest, and these are the people that have they've got the jewels, and they've got the stones, and they've got the pyramids, like the prisms, and the Reiki masters, and all of this. And so people were coming out of the sticks of Western Iowa and eastern Nebraska, people who you can tell haven't seen the light of day in a little while. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. Over 70 paid
new practice member appointments in the matter of 2 days. 2 students came up to serve our office with us this weekend, sowing into their future. So it's a matter of doing the same thing that was done for me. We paid for their travel. We paid for their food. We took them out to a steak dinner. I'm talking the best place here in Omaha that I know of. Paid for their lodging. We paid for everything to give them the opportunity to further sow into their future. And that's what it's all about. And so we're just doing the exact same thing, pushing these people forward so they can continue to push the profession forward. And the fact that they signed up 70 paid new practice member appointments shows you that this isn't the first time they've been doing it.
Yeah, just a little bit on that level. And I really appreciate you giving opportunities to the students. I think more people need to know how to go out and harvest their communities and talk the tick and schedule people in. There's nothing quite like an effective marketing campaign when you go out and meet people where they are. I did 600 events in 36 months. And I scheduled in over 2,500 people. 70% of those people showed up. So I know what it's like to go out there and to let people kick tires and then to get them into offices, man. It's an amazing thing. It's great when you can see when people have the passion to share and they have the tools in order to get people influenced enough to say, yes, I'm going to walk across that line and I'm going to go to that office and I'm going to at least check it out. I'm going to at least go and see what can happen for the quality of my life based off of what we found at the quick little talk that we do at the screen events. But I think it's amazing that you're opening that opportunity up to the future chiropractors.
Yeah, it's all about paying it forward.
Yeah. So I know you were just at a AMPed conference. Do you call it a launch event?
So that was actually the AMPed Family Conference. So the conference was all designed around bringing your family together so you can work more harmoniously as a family, so you can better serve your team and your practice as well.
So tell me a little bit about you were speaking there, right?
Yeah. I was blessed with an opportunity to speak at the event. A few minutes prior to going up on stage, I was pacing in the back, just like on fire, excited, because it's something that I've been thinking about since my very first AMPed conference. Obviously we see the AMP conference, like everybody writes on their mission board, I want to be a speaker. And it was just like the time had finally come. And I wanted to speak about how to be the best you can be, how you can serve yourself so you can better serve everybody else. Is like, again, keeping the main thing. You cannot focus on yourself, but you have to keep your cup full at all times. So the talk was mainly about how you can organize your thoughts and organize your brain to serve your highest values. Everybody has a specific set of values. And if you know John DeMartini, I read a lot and listen to a lot of what John Martini shares. And he speaks about how everybody's set of values is very specific to them, like a fingerprint, right? And when you can align your thoughts to coincide with your highest values and delegate out all the things that don't serve your highest value, you become a high value person. They say your innermost dominant thought becomes your outermost dominant reality. So we spoke a little bit about how to trim the things around your life that don't serve your highest value, how to delegate the things that are keeping you from doing higher value things in order to become a higher value person, so you can affect your people at a higher level as well. It all starts from within. I'm a firm believer that every single action that you do is a symptom to your mindset. It's a symptom to your innermost dominant thought. So when you can feed yourself with high value, high quality information and surround yourself with the right people to hold you accountable, to keep that mission the main thing, you have the best opportunity to fulfill your potential in this world, as long as you can allow that thought to ring louder in your brain than anything on the outside that may contradict that. Because especially as you rise up and you see a bigger potential and your horizon expands, so do the distractions. When the distractions start ringing loud, you got to make sure you have what we call guardrails, people in your life to keep you on that track, no matter what else you may see.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Close for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic bootcamp, Moveville University, Pure Chiro Notes, Dr. Alok Trivedi, The Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Traction System, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, and Imaging Services. Let's hustle. Totally agree, man. The only reason I sit here with you today is because of DeMartini. He was the person that taught me the pyramid of like, what is the most important in my life? What's the second most important in my life? What has zero life importance to me? So then I cut out zero life important stuff, low priority stuff I cut out, and I only focused on the top tier of that mountain. And that's why I am here with you today, because I said, I'm going to put out an interview every day because I'm going to put out more content on the profession that I love, that I want to promote, so everybody that's out there can tell their story just like you can. So I'm really laying it all out there and saying, hey, if we start telling the narrative of chiropractic every day, eventually we're going to influence more people, and more people are going to realize that this is the decision that they should be making to have chiropractic a part of their future and their life and their families, because there's not one person out there that has a vertebral subluxation that has a better quality of life than somebody that's under chiropractic care. Period. I don't care if you're a pro athlete, you should get adjusted. I don't care if you're, a politician or you can be a billionaire. If you have subluxations, your life is not as good as it could be if you're under good chiropractic care.
Exactly right, man. I can't tell you how much we appreciate all the work you're putting into this profession. You've created value in something that isn't being met right now. You're connecting us as a profession, and you're doing it in an excellent way. And we really do appreciate everything that you're doing.
Well, I know that there was a huge void. And then, I like to explain to you like this. You have people out there that are finger painters and they dabble. And, you have people out there that are creating masterpieces. And I chose to, instead of dabbling, and the idea of being a chiropractic journalist is to create masterpieces. And you have to show up when you don't want to. You have to continuously sharpen the axe. I think I was listening to Mark Romano talked the other night on his live. He's like, they asked, I think it was Abraham Lincoln, what he did to prepare something to cut down a tree. And if we had, I think it was some type of a time thing. If you had 5 minutes to cut down a tree, what would you do first? He goes, I'd sharpen the axe for 4 minutes. Yeah. That's right. So I might have paraphrased that wrong, but I was just fired up to say that because a lot of times it's preparation. It's sending out to get your bio so I know who you are. It's sending out a worksheet so I can kind of have a pre-interview chat with you before I go live with you. So it's so much preparation goes into this. And the more that you do this type of process, the better you get at it. And then you get more high caliber people. Plus you share. I mean, I love interviewing the students. I mean, there's nothing greater. Are you the first chiropractor in your family?
I am.
First doctor?
First doctor.
That is such a proud moment to me, to ask a young man like you that goes through life and you become the first doctor in your family. That's such a high honor, man.
It's an amazing blessing, and it's a huge responsibility, and it's really a beautiful thing that's occurred here in my life, and I'm not going to waste it.
No, but the thing is you started out exactly how you're supposed to, because a lot of the narrative that I hear is that people get out there, they walk across stage with their diploma, and they get low self-esteem immediately. Like, it's almost like, SHIT, what happened to me? Like, now I have to go be the business hand. And I was spending so much time being the student that had to pass boards. And now I have to go out there and run a practice. And I don't know the first thing about running a practice. So, thinking about what you were able to accomplish is you came out with such high self-esteem. And I think that that's something that Amped fosters into their tribe, is they tell you guys exactly what you need to do and how you need to do it. And they set you up for success, which I can't thank that team enough for what they're doing to go out there and to help the students come out with high self-esteem and certainty and go out there and crush it, man.
Yes. When the preparation is there, the results are predictable. And when you see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students opening up every single year through the AMP system, successful, living the life that they want to have from the very beginning, because they've put in the blood, sweat, and tears while in school willingly. Just like they say, you have to you can choose to invest in your health now, or you'll be forced to invest in your health later. Like, you can choose to invest into your practice while in school, or you'll be forced to do it once the game is actually on the line.
Bingo. And that's crunch time, and it's high stress. The bills roll in, the numbers are down, and you have a big rude awakening, and you're like, what do I do? So it's important to plug yourself into a successful team that supports you. and can give you the hard truths and can say, well, this is what you should do, and go do it. And don't just tell me that you're going to do it, but show me the stats.
Yes, definitely. It's a huge thing. And I think the biggest thing is the accountability of it. Is this is not a business coaching system. It's 100% a mastermind and a mentorship. We are all linking arms together to push chiropractic forward through AMPed. And I would take a bullet for it any day.
So tell me about these numbers. I know that you have some really cool stats that happen with this launch program that are kind of predictable if people follow the system.
Definitely. And I got them printed off here, and I'll post them below afterwards as well. The launch has a portion that's designated towards getting students ready to go prior to opening. It's called the Jumpstart program. It gives you everything that you need from A to Z, finding and negotiating a lease, from the paperwork, from the process, the day one through the day one, day two process. Everything that you could possibly need to know has been laid out, sought out, and it's always improving. And in 2017, 60 AMPed offices opened through the Jumpstart program. I have never seen stats like this in chiropractic. This has the most momentum of any system, any group within chiropractic. And I'll stand by that any single day. So I will post this below. But let me just read this off to you because I know I'm kind of shaking around here, right? Weekly visits for the Jumpstart program. The average office is opening up with 85 new practice member appointments on the books, seeing 85 a week their first week in practice. By their first month, the current stats of these 60 offices are seeing 106 practice members a week. And by the 12th month, 275 practice member visits a week on average. That's not the high, that's on average. That is huge. We're not even there yet. We're not even in our 12th month yet. So these numbers are only going to go up. And there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of docs who are going to be opening up for the next few years through the Jumpstart program. They're only going to push this higher and better, serving our communities better and pushing humanity forward at a higher rate.
Let's talk about those earning stats.
Yes, and I don't like talking about finances, but it's a huge thing because when your overhead is met, you don't have to worry about the money. You can keep the main thing as serving, because when you get into that survival mode, that external thought of can I keep my lights on, it's going to start ringing very, very loud.
That's mental inflammation if you didn't know.
Yeah, right. Subluxation all over the place. The average Jumpstart office, first month in practice, just south of $18,000 a month. By their third month in practice, $23,000 a month. And by their first year in practice, $36,424 a month in revenue. Do you think that these students who are opening up through the Jumpstart program are worried about keeping the lights on? Is money the main thing? It's not, because money will take care of itself when you keep the main thing, and you serve your community at a high level.
Well, one of the people I listened to said, it's not about the money, but it sure as heck is when you're ready to retire and you're broke.
That is right. And it's a beautiful thing because it does allow us to live the lifestyle that we want to live. Obviously, starting humbly and living within your means, far beyond when you feel comfortable. But just continuing to push forward and keep serving on the front end, and the money will follow. If you this is another big one, is the satisfaction rate for Jumpstart, 91%. Right there, which tells me most people who join the Jumpstart program are going to take advantage of it in full force. Maybe not everybody, but with a satisfaction rate over 90%, it kind of shows you that it is up to you. And if you apply yourself and you stick with it and you learn the principles and procedures that it allows you to learn, you'll reap the fruit from that as well.
Yeah, I'm going to do a quick pattern interrupt for us again. If you guys are watching this and you're in the AMPed group, put a hashtag AMPed in the comments there. If you guys are non-AMPed and you guys are just Chiro Hustle fans, put hashtag Chiro Hustle in the comments. And if you guys don't want to do either of those, just tell us where you guys are watching from. If it's whatever city you're in, just put that in the comments. I believe it's so important to be social on social. If you guys do like this content, please share it for us. I know more people need to know about this. If you know a chiropractic student that's going through a program in any school, AMPed will definitely be able to serve them and help them out and to be able to be their success liaisons and teach them these principles so where they can jump out. There we go, Jeff Moody. I see that hashtag AMPed. If you guys are out there, please just comment to us where you guys are coming in from, or if you guys are watching this on replay, put in hashtag replay so we know that you watched it, and I can respond to you. If you guys do have questions about the AMPed, he's running at the gym in Arizona. Awesome, Scott. We got somebody watching this live while they're running on the treadmill at the gym.
There you go.
That's so cool.
Run faster, man. Push it harder.
But that's the love of what we do, is we can communicate with people. We got Kat Sarah in Salt Lake City, Utah. Christian Nettleberg, he says, Dr. Gabe from Omaha, bringing an AMPed fam. Keep the main thing the main thing. See, I love it. You guys have such like easy things to like approach your life with. When you know what the most important thing is, you just focus on it. And I used to tell people, always look in obvious places. If you look where things are supposed to be and you put them back where they're supposed to go, then you'll always find them. But if you live in a life where things are disorganized and you don't know where your things are, half your time is spent for preparing yourself to take the next step in life. So I think so much is to do with organization, but not only organization of our things, but organization of our life, having our relationships in line, knowing what we're putting into our bodies and how we treat people. There's so much that goes along with this chiropractic lifestyle. And I know that you guys within AMPed do a really good job of raising the young instead of eating the young.
That's right. This practice that we've created here is 100% mine. And I willingly choose to stay a part of AMPed, and I will my entire life because it allows me to keep that main thing the main thing. But this practice does not have anybody's name but myself on it. And that was a very big thing for me. I did not want to work to have my practice owned by another person. And there's great organizations out there, but I'm very, very, very pro to keeping this as something of mine, and AMPed allowed us to do that. And I really appreciate that, because it is very easy to eat the young. It's really hard to put that aside, the personal gain aside, and raise other people up. And leaders create leaders, and that's exactly what AMPed is doing.
Yeah, I'm really proud of what you guys are doing. It's great to be in connection with you guys and to be able to, see what you guys are doing as a team and, putting on great events. I know you guys have something coming up here, something, I think you said it's in Atlanta sometime coming up. We tell our audience a little bit about that event.
Yeah, so the next AMPed conference is an AMPed team conference. It's practical for DCs, spouses, students, and your entire team. So we'll fly our entire team out to Atlanta. We'll fellowship out there. We'll go out to dinner together. And we're going to hit this conference hard, and we're going to grow as a team from within. But it's going to be August 10th through 12th at the Intercontinental Buckhead. And you can find that at ampednow.com/event. So www.ampednow.com/event. You'll find it there. I'll post it below as well when we finish up the interview here. But here's the biggest thing. I'm talking not only to students here, and I'm really talking to you, but I'm also talking to DCs, is you hear how they say, be a yes or a no person, the maybes will kill you. I'm a very big believer that you cannot allow your preconceived notions of what something will be to prevent you from experiencing it in the first place. I went to a lot of things in school that I hated, and I served a lot of offices that I did not like, and I was like, I will not do it. But I got to tell you how valuable it was to know what I didn't want to be, just as much of value as it was to know what I wanted to do. Any student who has not been to an AMPed conference, you got to give yourself the opportunity to learn. You're going to get punched in the face by this event in a wonderful way, right? You're either going to dig your heels in deeper to what you believe, maybe that be therapies, maybe that be maximized living, whatever it may be. But if you have not given yourself an opportunity to experience an AMPed live conference, then you have not given yourself the opportunity to decide whether this is something you actually want to do, whatever it is that you're doing now. Because you may get here and realize that this is exactly what you've been looking for. And this system And this mastermind and this movement of AMPed is going to allow you to fulfill your potential. Do not allow your preconceived notions of what we do and who we are and where we're going to prevent you from experiencing this AMPed team conference. So if you're a student, get there. Get there while you're in school. If you're a DC and you're not where you want to be in practice, reach out to me. I'll figure out a way to get you there. You can stay with our team. You can do whatever you want. If finances are tough, we'll help you get there, and we'll turn your life around. And the AMPed team conference is by far one of the most amazing things. It's the best part of my year. We get recharged. I get to see all my friends in chiropractic who are doing it big as well. And so I highly encourage you to check out the AMPed team conference. It's on August 12th, 10th through 12th in Atlanta, the Intercontinental.
You know, one of the things I really appreciate about this interview is you talked about the taboos. You talked numbers, and you talked earning potential. And I think that that's something that's kind of put a shackle on the profession, is, you know, not talking numbers, not talking success, and kind of just living in the maybes. And I think that when we don't have certainty, then we live in that maybe, like you said. And it's either yes or no or the maybe. And the maybe is the part that's really bringing people down, because it's really hard to make decisions now. I did our first movie, Chiropractic, the documentary, and one of the quotes out of there is by Tim O'Shea. He said, "It's not that we have lack of information anymore. We have too much information, and it's hard to decide on what to choose to allow into our day, because there's just too much on the plate, man. There's too much on the table. There's too much coming through your scroll. There's just way too much information. So if you can simplify it, and you can get reproducible numbers, and you can show people that this system is work, it's plug and play with a lot of sweat equity, you actually get the life of your dreams with the chiropractic office."
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hit that right on the nail on the head, man.
And Jeff Moody says, "Dr. Gabe was the one who brought me on board with AMPed while in school at Parker, and I'm forever grateful. #leader." And, you know, those are great accolades, being 9 months out of practice, dude.
Yeah. You know, it's all of this is just been a symptom to the hard work that we were willing to put in while in school, man. And I'm really blessed to be where we're at in practice. We have people who come through here every single day that we consider family, people who want to be here, getting adjusted. They're taking ownership. They know why they're here. And that's really what it's all about, is they've found their place of healing, and we'll always be here for them.
Yeah. And one of the things I really like to say is you guys are hope dealers. And I think that when you give people hope in their health, that's one of the greatest things you can ever give someone. Something I like to say is everybody knows somebody that's sick and suffering. They just don't know where to go or who to trust. And I think that that's what chiropractic is a solution for. Everybody has a problem and nobody has a solution. But that's why I support chiropractic so steadfastly, because I think that chiropractic is a solution. And from talking to people doing research, and from talking to people that are being ambassadors in their communities, and, you know, taking care of people, you know, that's what it's all about. It's about taking care of people, but it's also being on the premise of, you know, find it, correct it, and leave it alone, just like Gonstead would say. So I think that once you find it, you fix it, you leave it alone, the body self-heals. And I think that chiropractically speaking, you don't want to treat symptoms, but people out there, from the perspective of the practice member or patient, they want you to take care of their symptoms. But we all know that all roads lead to vertebral subluxation. So they can think of it as, you know, symptom. You can think of it as principle. But as long as people are getting the resource of removal of subluxation, that's what we need, period.
Definitely. We address all of that in our second day. We have what's called a doctor's report, which, well, you know, we're called Awaken Chiropractic. I tell people, if you're coming in here for symptoms, it's going to be a fantastic thing when those things go away, if they choose to do so. But if you address the neurological function deficit within your system, and you release that innate potential to heal, and we start focusing on function, and we shut the door on symptoms, and address the fact that symptoms will go away when they're ready, but we have to keep the main thing of function the main thing. Then if you focus on the function every single time you come in here, and you, after your adjustment and you leave, it's a win. And with time and repetition, your body will heal. And we tell people that. And to go along with what you're saying earlier, there's two things I ask for people who decide to start care in our office. One, I cannot pull dead weight uphill. It's them and it's us working together. But the second thing is when they get better, they have to tell their story. It's one thing to get somebody healthy, but it's a completely different thing to get somebody healthy and then create a chiropractic warrior to go out there and tell everybody that they know. So we lead with our mission. On day one, we tell people about our mission, and we tell them, and I say, my goal is for you to be the biggest chiropractic advocate, because if you don't tell your friends and family, who will? This message that we share with you here, most people go their entire lives without hearing about it. So if you don't tell them, who will? And the thing is, they do. We're a huge referral-based practice. We see a ton of kids and babies every single day. We just had a pregnant mom last Monday give birth to 2 twins over 7 pounds in 4 hours through neurologically based chiropractic care. And that's an amazing thing. And they'll refer in their friends and family, and then they'll refer in their friends and families, because we serve the mission first, not the symptoms. We address their symptoms because they know they come in, but we tell them people come to get off medications and get out of pain, and that's a fantastic thing. But people stay because they know when they're well adjusted, they have the best opportunity to fulfill their potential in this world.
Love it, dude. Well, I know we're coming up on the edge of our time together. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you'd like to share?
I just want to thank you. The opportunity to share tonight has been really, really a big blessing for me. I do thank you for the opportunity. And for anybody who is out there that would like more information, I'm personally at your service. If you're ever coming through Omaha, stop by, say hi. We can go have a meal together, talk about the state of chiropractic and where we're heading and how we can best serve that. But just know that I'm a warrior for chiropractic, and I'm always here for you. And if I can be of service, just let me know.
Yeah, man. I pass through Omaha all the time. I didn't know that's where you were based out of. So you'll probably get a few messages saying, "Hey, bro, I'm coming through."
It's all right. Come in and get tuned up.
Yeah. So I'm just going to close out, if that's okay, and just let everybody know, just like you said, we're just one story away. Keep hustling. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.